Okay guys, I'm gonna go through the 7 essential stretches that any surfer will need. Why is that? Because there are certain muscles that no matter what, if you are a surfer, you will use it, and you will use it a lot. Let's start from the top. We're always stretching from the top of the body to the bottom of the body. As we're going from the top to the bottom, we're gonna start from the head or the neck. Okay, we're gonna do a side rotation P.N.F stretch, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. Okay, as a surfer, we constantly looking over our shoulders. Okay, and we're rotating the head. No matter what, you're looking over your shoulder to see if there is someone down the line. So rotating the head to the right or to the left, we're always looking on both sides. So that's extremely important because the neck is going to be rotating more to one side, and consequently we want to balance that. The next one is going to be S.C.M sternocleidomastoid muscle. Okay, as we looking over the shoulder, a lot of the time what we do, especially if we're going in backside, we're gonna do this, okay, with the head. It's not only a rotation of the neck, it's actually a rotation with an extension. Because if we're going on up the face of the wave, we're gonna do that, okay? Next one, extremely important. 80% of the time we spend in the water surfing, we spend it paddling, okay? Guess what? You wouldn't thought that you would have gone straight into the lats, but instead, this incredible muscle is working all the time because it does two major part of the arm movement, and that's your pec major, okay? Pec major, the arm, which is arm flexion or arm abduction, okay? 40 degrees of arm abduction is done by the pec. Not only that, as we paddle, we internally rotating the arm that we taking the stroke with, and we pulling back. Guess what? Pec is gonna be working on that. Next one is gonna be, yes, you guessed it right, it's gonna be your lats. Why? Because it's a pulling muscle. Once again, pulling our body moving through the water, okay? It's a closed chain movement, meaning that we actually moving the body and it's not the water that we're moving. Then we're gonna move to the side, okay? We have the external and internal oblique. On our sport, on the sport of surfing, we're rotating all the time. We're doing turns. To rotate to my right, I'm gonna use my external oblique on my left side, and to rotate to my left side, I'm gonna use the external oblique on right side, and vice versa with my internal obliques. So, and then after that, we're gonna move to the legs, okay? So, either way, you are a goofy footer or a regular footer, you go up the face of the wave and you got this leg extended like that, that's your quad. So the quad do this knee extension, okay? And the posterior leg is gonna be bent, okay? As you bend the leg, the posterior leg, predominantly we're working on the glutes. So we need to target quad, which I got it together with the lat stretch. And the simple reason why I have the quad connected to your lat stretch is because both the quad and the lats have the ability to tilt the pelvis forward, okay? And so having that awareness of posterior pelvic tilt as we paddle, as we have our leg extended, is very important to maintain the health of your lumbar spine and to improve your paddling performance. Because if we let the pelvis tilting forward as we pull in the water, we will lose power because the muscle will shorten too much and we won't use the whole fiber of the muscle as we pull in. And if you find that any one of the stretches that I'm going to suggest you to perform, one side is tighter than the opposite side, Perhaps try to stretch more the side that is tighter to bring balance. So for instance, if you're stretching 3 sides on the right side because it's tighter, you can stretch 1 or 2 times only on the left side because it's not as tight. Okay, so let's start from that side rotation P.N.F stretch. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna rotate the head to your left or to your right. It all depends which side do you want to start with and which side you may find that is more tight, okay, or more restricted. So I'm gonna start from my left side, okay. So I'm gonna rotate to my left. I'm gonna place my left hand on my cheek, okay, and as I'm pressing my left hand on my cheek, I'm gonna rotate the head to the right, okay? But I won't let it move, okay? So I'm going to rotate, and I can also try to look with my eye over to the right. And I'm gonna hold the stretch for approximately 30 seconds. Try not to side bend the head, just keep it there. And keep it pressing against the hand. Then you release, you take a breath in, and you go in again. And you can perform that 3 times on each side. We're going to go on the right side this time. And if you find that any one of the stretches that I'm going to suggest you to perform, one side is tighter than the opposite side, perhaps try to stretch more the side that is tighter to bring balance. So for instance, if you're stretching 3 sides on the right side because it's tighter, you can stretch 1 or 2 times only on the left side because it's not as tight. Okay? So I'm gonna go to the right and I'm gonna perform on my right side. Okay, I take another big breath in and I go again. So that's it. That's your side rotation neck stretch. Now we're going to go to the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Okay, I chose a stool. Okay, you can use a chair. I didn't choose a bowl, a Swiss bowl, to sit on it because not everyone has a Swiss bowl at home. Okay, otherwise you can use a Swiss bowl. For the sternocleidomastoid, we want to side bend the head to one side, okay, with the hand on the same side of where we bend in the head, and then we're gonna move it slightly back, kind of on the corner of the head like that. So you side bending it, and then you're gonna rotate the head up, and you're gonna look up, and you're gonna anchor it down and side bend to the left side in this case. Same things, hold the stretcher for about 30 seconds. Then you take a breath in and then you go again. Okay, so from this view is side bend and then rotate up. Keep the chest nice and high, keep the trunk up. Just try to side bend the neck. Side bend and rotate up. Okay, come back to neutral, nice and slowly. Swap side. Take a nice big breath in, side bend, and look up. Be nice and gentle. Keep the chest nice and high. Take a breath in, nice and gentle, coming back to neutral. Okay, so that's your S.C.M stretch. Okay, so for the pec, I'm gonna give you 2 options. One is gonna be a myofascial stretching, and the other one, which is what I'm gonna show you now straight away, is gonna be Still a myofascial release with a massage ball, and you can use a tennis ball if you don't have a massage ball like this one, okay? So we're gonna work on the pec major, okay? So the pec major goes right from your nipples, right down here, and comes all the way up and goes all the way across to your arm. Okay, so this whole part, this whole shelf over here, we're gonna work on it. And we can work on it by placing the ball on around the nipple area, but not right on the nipple. It can be a bit sensitive, especially if you are a female, not suggested to put it over there. And you can work as well going toward the sternum because it touches on the sternum. So you place the ball on the wall, on the arm on the same side up. You can bring it up like that, and you can move across. And imagine you squeezing water around into that little sac that holds and retain the muscle. Okay, and we're gonna come up closer to the sternum. Okay, and we're moving toward the arm. And even if you find some, let's say, more tender spot, you can just stop on it, keep a pressure on the spot, breathe into the spot until you feel that pressure subsiding, releasing a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go on the opposite side. I'm gonna come up close to the collarbone, so I'm gonna include the fiber of the pec minor that are going to my coracoid process of the scapula, and they go, and it goes from rib 3 to 5 all the way there. I'm gonna go a little bit in circle. Good, a bit more on side to side. And good. So that's the pec major, and also you will touch on the pec minor with the massage ball. Once again, you can use a tennis ball as well. It doesn't have to be a massage ball specifically. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the myofascial pec major stretch. You're gonna perform a lay down on the floor on your belly. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay down on the floor. I'm gonna start from the left side, and then I'm gonna go to the right side. So I'm gonna lay down to the side. I'm gonna place my arm onto the floor, okay, with my shoulder right flat on the floor as much as I can. If you can't reach with the shoulder right on the floor, perhaps you want to put some padding underneath your shoulder, okay? The opposite hand, imagine I show you with the right hand, is going to be on the side like this, okay? Palm nice and spread to the side. About the hand is about shoulder height. Then from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to point the toes of my feet on the ground, and I'm going to tuck my tailbone under. I'm going to press down the arm, kind of bring the hand of the working arm in external rotation, and the arm is about at that 40 degrees of shoulder flexion, shoulder abduction, okay? The head is going to be rotating on the opposite side. I'm going to press down, and with the opposite hand, I'm going to rotate the body up slightly. I'm going to keep pressing down and tucking the tailbone under. Okay, I'm going to swap arm so that you can see it on both sides. quite a few times. Same things. I'm at about 40 degrees. Tuck the tailbone under. Press the chest up with the opposite hand and keep the shoulder on the ground. Hand in external rotation. Okay, so that's your pec major. So for the anterior deltoids stretch, we're gonna be kneeling down on hip extension, okay? And we're gonna bring the arm that we wanna start with at the back of the body with the hand in external rotation, all right? We're gonna reach over the forearm with the opposite hand, and we're gonna pull it across. We're gonna do this, okay? We're gonna pull it across, and we're gonna side bend to the opposite side. As we keeping the chest and the trunk stable, so we want just follow the head. We're gonna keep the trunk, the chest upright. We're gonna externally rotate the hand, and we're gonna side bend the head and lean it backwards a little bit. And we're gonna press the hand down toward the floor as we're pulling it across. You can come up a little bit more higher. And this is a muscle that is often not really looked after, especially in the fashion of stretching and releasing and massaging. And in external rotation. Okay, so anterior deltoid is done. Okay, so for the next stretch, we're gonna, like I said to you, we're gonna hit two muscles at the same time that have an impact on the pelvis, okay, and the tilting of the pelvis too tilted forward. And imagine if the pelvis is too tilted forward, as you paddle, you will press down on that lower part of the surfboard and consequently creating more drag into the water as you paddling. It's like swimming. You want to create like an even surface from the head, the chest, the pelvis. If the pelvis is too tilted forward as you swim, there is going to be more drag in the water, and so you're going to work harder and move slower, right? You don't want to just waste your energy for that things. So you probably need a yoga mat, some sort of a pillow. You can do it on a wall, you can do it on a Swiss ball, you can do against a bed, depending on what you have. I'm gonna do it on the wall, so there is more something that most of us will have. Okay, so on the wall, I'm gonna have one knee on the pillow on the ground. Okay, I'm gonna bring my foot up, and I'm gonna put the pillow, the foot of the leg that I'm gonna work on the pillow. Then from here, once again, the quad is gonna be attached on the pelvis, so I just want to tilt the pelvis forward, and I want to tuck the tailbone under. Same things for the lats. Now that I got this 2-point position, okay, where I'm stretching the quad, I'm gonna bring the arm on the same side of the leg that I'm stretching. I'm gonna hold the wrist of that arm of the hand with the opposite hand. I'm gonna take a nice big breath into the belly, drawing the belly button. So I'm gonna take a nice big breath into the belly, and I'm gonna side bend. You can move the opposite leg out to the side to give you a little bit more base of support. Keep that pelvis tucked under and go and side bend. This stretch will also work on your internal oblique. You can even side rotate and look up toward the ceiling, or you can come forward. So you're stretching different fibers of the lats at the same time as you're stretching the quad. You can keep it contracting the quads so that you feel the stretch on the quads. Ideally, you want to try to bring the glutes against your heel, okay? That's your end range position or your goal. Reach over with the opposite arm, take a nice big breath in, tuck the tailbone under, and side bend. Okay, so this is the lats and the quad. Okay, so external oblique stretch. For the external oblique stretch, you're gonna position yourself into a kneeling position with the toes on the ground, like so, on both sides. You're gonna place one hand. If I'm stretching the left side, I'm gonna place my right hand on the heel, on the back of the heel where the Achilles is. Okay, like a like so. I'm gonna place the left hand again, like so, into my neck on my left side. Take a nice big breath in and rotate backwards. And side bend to the side. I can look up toward the ceiling. Keep the tailbone tucked under. And then we're going to go on the opposite side. Same things. Okay, so this is the external oblique myofascial stretch. Okay, so for the last stretch, we're going to perform the Glute Max Stretch. Many of you may have done a similar stretch. I'm going to give you a few more tips right there to maximize the result that you're going to get from your Glute Max stretch. Okay, so you're going to lay down on the floor. Okay, I'm going to start from this side like so. You're going to lie down like this. You're going to place the ankle of one side of the right leg onto the left knee. You're going to bring up the thigh with the two hands. You're going to wrap around behind the knee on the left side. Head is going to be down, resting on the ground. Okay. The right foot is going to be externally rotating and dorsiflexing. Okay. So it's going to be doing this and that. The opposite left foot is going to do the same. And then you're going to bring the leg in, the thigh on the left side in, and you're going to push the right knee out. Hold that position for 30 seconds to a minute. Then you swap side. Tighter on this side for me. So I'm going to take a breath in and go back into the stretch. Move to the right side again. Okay guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my 7 essential stretches for surfer. So drop a comment on below and subscribe to my channel. I want to hear more about what was your experience with those stretches, if you find that they're actually really beneficial or not, and so forth. Thank you for watching. This is Gio from Rebalancing Health.